right, it took a couple of days, thanks to CBS All Access, decided not to play nice for a while, but I managed to get it on my tablet. Finally got to see episode 2 of PICARD, Maps and Legends, and less dumb stuff being cropped in, but there's still a little bit in the form of, housekeepers. Apparently, Picard has done rather well, and he's got his two main housekeeper, Romulans there were apparently former Tal Shiar, so, and now they're tending house. Go figure. But a little bit of tech. It's like, how is what her little device there even theoretically possible? It's like, no. You were there are other ways to have accomplished what they wanted to do in that scene without having to restrain a little magic box, and it's like, it's the way a lot of things do. It's like there are other ways to do it that don't insult the intelligence and don't just turn it into magic time. But, and also, just beaming into the apartment, like, do they just think that there's waltz in any old place? Come on. But yeah, you go through the whole thing of, and I'm not sure how much, the computer stuff they did was, crap or not, but okay, I'll let that one go. But a lot of it's just, more setting up, and more, building upon, the idiotic premise you can clone an android. And, of course, we go back to the android's twin sister android out there. And, yeah, she just banged the Romulan without so much as a by your leave. And doesn't really know anything about him, but she slept on with him anyway. Like, okay. This is an intelligent person, clearly. But, yeah. But to make it clear, it's a reclamation. They're reclaiming the Borg cube. They're not trying to build their own. Although what they're going to do with it, who knows. And what they did, it makes sense. Yeah, once they disconnect from the collective, yeah, it's wasted space. So they figure they're probably safe, but just the same, you can never be safe around Borg. So, but moving on along there, it's a lot of it's just still slow build up here, and we meet an admiral who apparently, I don't know, she's got some big beef about Picard. I don't think it all stems from that botched interview. I think there's something very, very deep seated going on, and they allude to it where we've never seen, we've always seen eye to eye. It's like, looks like this gal has hated Picard for years for whatever reason. Now she finally got him. And as we figured, yes, Section 31 is up to his ears in this. That because. Now you botched the operation. I think, okay, or at least Starfleet security, But you figure if Starfleet security, then Section 31's in the background of that one. They're pulling the strings of this. And as we going along, turns out not only is her little that one operative there. It's like, oh, she's a Romulan in disguise. Of course she is. Does Starfleet know she's a Romulan in disguise? That's the big thing. I mean, they got a Vulcan heading up the thing apparently, and we all see the reintroduction of the rank of the Commodore rank. So whatever. Yeah. Oh, and as Picard shows up, that's a hologram of the Enterprise D. Well, before we get that, it's the Disco Prize. So guess what? There's your direct link to Discovery and the Kurtzman Trek universe. We are not in the original Star Trek universe, because seeing that ship right there, no, you blew it right there, Kurtzman. There's your direct link to Discovery, and thus, nope. We're looking at a parallel universe version of these characters here. This is not Picard, and yeah, it's a very different Picard. Yeah, this is parallel universe doppelganger. At least Picard, and at least Geordi and Worf got name drops in the game. Yep, they're still around. Okay, we're still waiting for confirmation about Crusher. Beverly dying off screen, but that's whatever. You gotta wonder, did they not want to pay Gates McFadden the fee to come out and have a little heartfelt scene with her former captain? No. You got to bring back the doctor from the Stargazer. Which again also begs up something that Gary pointed out in his review. It's like, are you sure it came from Offworld? You have spent your entire adult life in Starfleet, most of it commanding Starfleet vessels in deep space. You've gone through other dimensions on occasion, and you're amazed that someone made a call off-world? Yeah. That's a build-up for a non-dramatic point. It's like, why are you surprised? Okay, people make calls off-world all the damn time. That's what subspace radio is all about. And so we begin the thing of Kirk assembling. Oh, I'm not Kirk, Picard assembling his crew. So he's already got Captain Dr. Blondie there, and having to leave the Romulans behind to tend to the grapes because the grapes need protection more than he does. And of course, the obligatory trip to Vasquez Rocks. Hey, you remember Vasquez Rocks where Kirk fought the guard? You remember that? See, we care. Yeah, sure you do, assholes. Yeah. And, oh, yes, of course, the foul-mouthed Admiral dropping the F-bomb right there. See, it's an M.I. Yeah, and yet this is supposed to be inspiring to kids when they're not even supposed to be, technically not really allowed to watch this stuff. It's M.A., That's mature audiences. That means no kids. So, it's hopefully if you're good parents, you're not letting your kids watch this. If you're real smart, make them watch the original series. And then, animated, next gen, and all that. Don't let them anywhere near this show. That's what the MA means, guys. Sorry. I don't make the rules. And still no valid reason for, we see a flashback of, that we see the android that dropped the shields of Utopia Planitia and let the guys come, charging on in. But no real explanation of why, other than Romulans really, really hate androids. Why they would blow up Utopia Planitia just to kill some android workers doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't care how fanatical you are. If you're that, you'd send in a few things and kill the workers. But again, why would they give a rep about what Starfleet's working on? They'd keep it out of their own situation. There's still a good deal of dumb here, or at least a good deal of you need to explain this stuff before you go much further, guys. Because we're only going to go along so far before. Okay, that's it. Hold it. Back up. What the hell is going on here? That's it. So far, it's it still keeps your attention. It doesn't really drag so much, although they're still rather heavy with the lens flares. Although at least the lens flares in this case seem to be coming from actual legitimate sources, like from outside, reflecting off something rather than the sun. But it's still it's overdone. So give it a rest. Kind of hard on the eyes after a while. That's why they're generally supposed to be something to be avoided. When Joss Whedon did lens flares in Firefly, it just happened. Okay, that wasn't planned. It's just the way the camera set up. We're gonna lens flare. No, leave it. When you start actually engineering for them, it's a bit trying. But so we got what we got here is Romulans working with Section 31 on some kind of anti-android kick. And Bruce Maddox is still out there somewhere. We got the promise that he's going to be modeled after Donald Trump. How the hell Donald Trump could possibly be paralleled to an android scientist, a robotics cyberneticist scientist? That really boggles the imagination too, because there's no parallel at all between that kind of thing. So. But again, that it's supposed to be around episode 4 when the thing goes off the rails. Maybe that's when we'll find out. And we're interested if they get the same guy who played Maddox. He's still around, still working. But we've gotten we got Dr. Blondie, and then we get this gal out here with the futuristic trailer out there by Vasquez Rocks, who apparently does not got some kind of grudge against Picard, because she's ready to blow him away with a blaster till he drops the right word. Oh, Romulans are is that the 86? It's a wine bottle in his hand. So yeah, this it won't be dull. It'll be interesting to see how they get from here to there, and how insulting it is along the way at this point. But like I said, they're off to a good start, which means if it does fall off the rails at episode 4, they're going to piss off a lot of people who they suckered back in. That's the real thing. It's like, never forget, at this point, we don't really have any obligation to stick around after a while. Because if you're going to keep pulling this crap, then like, no, we're not coming back next time. Because this could be a make or break thing. And then CBS will start to understand the idea of, okay, let's just screw it. Let's just sell it off to, Seth MacFarlane wants it, he can have it. Send it back to NBC from whence it came, see what they can do with it. Well, like I said, I don't see them selling it outright. I think Sherry Redstone will have a piece of it still, but I can imagine them selling a share of it off. Let NBC see if they can bring the Phoenix back, in the form of the peacock, whatever. That's a bad analogy, but yeah, that's it'll be interesting. Even if the rumor is not true. Is this? Hold on. We may be picking up. I may have to do this over.
We interrupt this program to annoy you and make things generally irritating.
Oh, and I forgot. Happy Brexit Day. Britain is finally free. So, let it go, guys. My homeland is finally free. My ancestral homeland is finally free of European domination. Cheers. No, false alarm. Everything's fine. But, yeah, I don't see Viacom and Sherry Redstone selling off Star Trek completely. But I can definitely see them bringing in somebody who is not only enthusiastic about the project, namely in the form of Seth MacFarlane, but also a network that actually has some institutional knowledge of what it takes to produce a Star Trek show, namely NBC. Because remember, CBS had no hand whatsoever in producing any of the previous shows, except in the hand of canceling Enterprise. Thank you, Les Moonves. You smoke a turd in hell for that one. And because then I'm sure NBC, the bookkeepers, if there's anybody still there from those days, it's like, oh God, not again. No. But yeah, I can see them pulling a deal with NBC and Seth to try and revitalize the project that way. And I think if they do that, then that's also probably indication that CBS All Access is pretty much on the way out too, because that was the whole thing with using the Star Trek properties as the draw. And they say that it's the most watched original program. Again, parsing the words there, they have very few original programs on that channel. And again, they have never released any viewership numbers. So there's a good chance that their most watched program is probably either a regular CBS program or programs that people are catching up on. They didn't catch on the air channel, or one of the old reruns from the back catalog. And they do have a lot of those, including all the previous Star Trek shows. It'd be hilarious if the original series is doing better numbers than Discovery or PICARD. But that's where we sit right now, guys. Yeah, it's again, I can say, yeah, this is the best stuff they produced on this channel regarding Star Trek, but that's damning with faint praise because what they produced prior to the stuff was utter crap. And this is just like, well, yeah, it's okay. It's I can watch without feeling like I'm being thoroughly insulted, especially episode 2, episode 1. It's like, hold it. How do you burn a Martian atmosphere that's 1/60th that of Earth and mostly carbon dioxide? It would be a fire suppressant. You couldn't light the Hindenburg up there. And it's just like, There's just so much stupid there. And how do you clone an android? Androids don't have DNA, okay? It's like, it's just... The premise is dumb. Okay? And there are ways you could have done it. And yeah, they could have done it. Without invoking stupid, anti-science, really. Because this is what it really is. They're trying to treat science as some kind of magic act, In fact, I think, the measure of a man, which they really didn't do a lot of studying of, apparently, because part of Riker's preparation for his part in the trial was looking up his, plans and specifications of data. They're in the computer. They're in the data file, So there's no need to clone anything. I think if anything's being cloned, it's probably the bodies of these poor girls who they're putting positronic brains into. So a little more gruesome, a little more horrifying, and probably a little more reason why it would be totally illegal, and would definitely say this is why we got to find Maddox. He's gone Frankenstein on us. But then again, this is part of the whole thing of why limitations make for more creative writing. You have to work your way around them. You can't just wave your hand and say, "Oh no, that better." He just did it, whether it makes sense or not. So, with that, personal update here. This is going to be dated very quickly because the time's coming in. But, all right, we got Steph out of rehab, and we got her over in Motel 6 across town, so she's close. We've only got enough money, to book her room through Sunday. We still need another day or two, to get her through to her payday on the 3rd. So really like $100 or so. Actually, about $100 or so would bridge the gap there. So if you can, PayPal down below. Patreon take too long, but this is a little urgent. I know the begathon becomes very tedious as well, but in lower channels like this one, it's kind of also mandatory because they're not making any money at this level. It's technically monetized, but it's like I've got maybe $30 built up on AdSense right now. Okay. And especially being out of circulation for so long because of the accident and the crappy Wi-Fi has really hurt the channel, probably more than the change in the algorithm. So I'm having to build up almost from scratch. So yeah, there's gonna be a few frequent pleas. So it's gonna sound a lot like Ego Tiger Fun's time. Send me all your money. I like money. But hey, that's life in the big city right now. Okay. And also, the way it is right now, we are, again, in a holding pattern for various things. We'll probably, at this rate, the hope is we'll be back in Colorado by the middle of next month sometime and trying to restart there because we're going to be slightly better shape than when we left. Hopefully hold on and be able to set up something back there because things are starting to open up finally. It's taken forever, but we're finally be able to get on a few things out there, hopefully. But anyway, as usual, like I said, PayPal, Patreon down below. I'm not putting the address up because that's going to be changing pretty quickly too. But yeah, but especially the PayPal because time is kind of urgent on this one. So, and we will catch you later.